All right, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to learn this blues guitar lick that's a combination of double stops and E minor pentatonic. This whole lick is in E, but there's two different things going on. So first, the double stop part of the lick is E Mixolydian, which I'll talk about shortly. Then the single note part is E minor pentatonic, which I'll also talk about in a couple minutes. Now, this lick can be used in intros, solos, and turnarounds. After you master this lick, you can use it however you want. You can cut it up into little segments. You can play the whole thing. It definitely will work in more genres than just blues, country, rock, whatever you want. So after you really get it down, and you'll see after you practice it for a while, you can cut it up into just little pieces, add it into your soloing or rhythm playing, however you want. Now, before I teach the actual lick, let's talk about where each part is derived from. Actually, I'm going to start with the second part of the lick, the single note part, because it's a little bit easier to understand. And that part of the lick is actually from my Beginner Blues Lick series ebook, which is on sale in the link below. And that's 20 basic beginner licks that you practice with a 12-bar blues. And you start to work on each one, and then as you get going, we start adding them together. It is available for purchase. But back to the lick. I'll play it one more time. Now, this lick, or this part of the lick, is from E minor pentatonic. Now, E minor pentatonic is also G major pentatonic. Now, the position for this lick, the first part of it is... That's E minor pentatonic, okay? Open position. Then the second part of the lick, when we slide up here and hit that note, that starts at the 3rd fret, and that's actually starts on the G there. All right, so you see, it covers both parts of those scale forms. Now, the double stop part of the lick, the first part of the lick, is derived from E Mixolydian, but there's a little bit more to it than that. Now, how do you think about Mixolydian? If you're new to the modes, Mixolydian is the 5th mode. You have Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian. And really, it's a word problem. So if it's E Mixolydian, the word problem would be E is the 5 of what? Okay, so the answer is A. So E Mixolydian is really the A major scale. Each mode comes from a major scale, the 7-note major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So that's where that comes from. E Mixolydian actually comes from A major, and it's based off of the E chord or E7 chord. So yes, this lick mixes a major, it has a major third in the double stops. It's also dominant, has that flat 7, and then it goes into a minor pentatonic. So really, we're kind of mixing major, dominant, and minor together. So that's kind of where E Mixolydian comes from. So the notes for E Mixolydian are E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, and then back to E. So really, it's the A major scale started from the 5th degree of the A major scale, which is E. All right. So the double stops are sixes, which means that there's an interval of a 6 between the notes. It's kind of a horizontal way, the way this lick is, the way the 6s are laid out. It's more horizontal than a box form. That's the first thing you'll notice when you're trying to play it. Now, there is one more thing with the particular way I'm playing it. Really, this is E Mixolydian, but there's also an extra note in there, and there's a couple different ways to think about that. The lick starts, we said the notes are E, F sharp, G sharp, but it actually starts on the G here at the 8th fret, 2nd string. And yes, the double stops are 4th string and 2nd string for the most part. We'll get to that in a second. So really, you can either think about it as it's derived from the E major blues scale, which that blue note is G in between the F sharp and the G sharp, or if you're comparing it to E Mixolydian, it's a chromatic. And you hear that a lot in like turnarounds, like those are the same notes. It's right here too. All right, so when you look at that, yes, there is actually one more note in there. So really it's E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E. All right, so let's now look at how to play the actual lick. So you start with your 2nd and 3rd finger, and yes, they're stacked in the same fret, 8th fret, 4th string, and 2nd string. Now notice on these double stops, I'm using my pick on the 4th string, the bass note, and then my 2nd finger I'm picking up, so you get a downward and upward motion at the same time. All right, so the first 3 little parts of this are all in the same form. You go 8th fret, 9th fret, 8th fret, 7th fret. So just like that. The next part, we've got a new little voicing shape. You use your 1st and 2nd finger. Your 1st finger's on the 5th fret, 2nd string. Your 2nd finger is on the 6th fret, 4th string. You're still on the same strings, still picking the same way. Then you go down 2 more frets with the same form to the 3rd and 4th fret, same strings. So you get this. Then we go back to the first voicing with your 2nd and 3rd finger on the 2nd fret. Same strings. Hit that, and then you hit both of them open. So you get this. Just like that. Let me hit that one more time. Then we get into the single note part of it. Hit the 6th string down, the 2nd and 1st string up together, just like that. Then we go into the single note part, which you start with your 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 3rd string, and you slide to the 4th fret. Then your 1st finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. Then your 2nd finger back to that 4th fret again on the 3rd string. Slide back to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Open. 2nd fret, 4th string. Then open 4th string. So you get like that. So that last part goes. So let me play that much of it. Pretty cool. All right, now we start the same way on the double stops again. We go on the 8th fret. This time we play those first two notes, or first two voicings, first two double stops. 8th fret, 9th fret. Then we jump to the 3rd string and the 1st string with that same shape. You're in the same frets. 7th fret on the 3rd string and 1st string. Then you slide to the 9th fret. Just like that. Then we jump back to the 4th and 2nd string on the 7th fret, slide to the 9th fret, then back to the 7th fret, then we go to the other voicing that's at the 5th and 6th fret, then that same voicing that's at the 3rd and 4th fret. So you get this. Then we go back to the other part again, start on the 6th string, then 1st and 2nd string. So the whole thing goes. There you go. Now, depending on your level, you might pick this lick up really quickly, but you may not. You may have to practice it in parts. You may have to work on your picking as far as the pick down, finger up, and then also work on the single note part. You can break it up into the 2 parts, work on it however you want. All right, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Definitely hit the subscribe button, and I'll be posting more soon.